Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
One of the stations there, and Kansas City, blah, blah, blah. So it's been good.
That is good.
Because I do a lot of talk radio,
Right.
as a guest.
Yeah.
And I started saying, hey, you want to run the show? They love it because then when I'm doing other people's show, I can say, and don't forget to listen to me.
Yeah, right, and tie it all back.
Is this volume good?
Good.
Do a test.
Check.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back, folks. This is the More Money Show on WABC and affiliates throughout the country. Thanks so much for joining. My next guest is Jay Jackson, Chairman and CEO of Abacus Global Management. Jay, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, excited to be here.
So let's start with explain to people what Abacus Global Management is. You've had quite a good, great run of late. You're based in Orlando.
Orlando, Florida is where the headquarters
Everybody's
is.
moving to Florida.
That's right. I mean, and not just for the taxes. The sun's nice too.
So tell me about your business. Tell me about what you think about what's going on with. You were telling me when we were talking off air that a lot of this is insurance based and figuring out how people can get a better deal from their insurance. From we were talking about Medicare, Social Security. I want to cover all these bases, but tell us about Abacus.
Sure. Abacus was founded over 20 years ago. We're a highly regulated company, registered in every state, even though we're based in Florida. And
you don't have to be in Orlando to.
No.
This and your website, by the way, Abacus is it abacusgm.com?
Abacus GM, so Abacus Global Management.
ABACUSGM.com. Got it.
Yeah, that's right. And we're a nationwide company. We operate in every state. It's highly regulated through the insurance department. But the biggest thing that we do is education.
Okay.
Right? Abacus Global Management, if you look at us across the board, there's a couple things that we focus on. First is better understanding lifespan-based types of financial products and applying lifespan to different types of financial products. Specifically, we started with insurance. And
you mean life insurance?
Okay. That's right. And starting with life insurance, the biggest question that we had to solve for, which was pretty astounding to me, and most people are kind of shocked when they hear it, that there's $14 trillion of life insurance in force in the United States. $14 trillion. It's two and a half times the U.S. residential real estate market.
Holy crap.
It's an incredible market. Like, shouldn't be a shock that the largest building in every city is typically an insurance company. And of that $14 trillion, 90% of it will never pay a claim. That should be a shocking stat.
Now, this is life insurance you're
Life
doing?
insurance,
Yes.
meaning that, when people think about life insurance, many times they're looking at it as, oh, this is going to be something not for me personally. It's going to be for my heirs. But what happens is that as people start to age, they get into 75, 80, they look at their life insurance differently. Their kids are grown up.
Right.
Maybe it served its purpose. And currently, when they
they don't realize how much they're vested, right, in that.
That's right. They don't realize that it's actually personal property. Right? It's the only country in the world where life insurance is personal property. If you fill out an application for life insurance in Canada, Section 1 is applicant. That same application in the United States, Section 1 is owner. And the premiums you pay into that contract are like, for example, if this was a home, right, you would be paying your mortgage payments into this.
So you were telling me earlier that what was the share percentage that's never claimed?
90%. So 9 out of 10 life insurance
So no wonder
policies.
the insurance companies are doing so well.
Yeah, they do okay. Like and what's interesting too is that if you even age this up a little bit and you say, okay, let's just focus on those over the age of 65, which I think is probably the biggest tragedy in this. 75% of those over the age of 65, those life insurance policies aren't paying a claim. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, I want to understand this. So, someone started paying their life insurance premiums, like maybe in their 30s or 40s, so that if they die, they've got money for their kids, and so they paid these premiums month after month after month after month,
right?
And then they stop paying.
That's right.
Even though they've got so much money, I mean, that's just
right.
leaving money right on the floor.
And that's because they don't treat it as an asset; they treat it as debt.
As insurance.
Yeah, they're like, this isn't for me, right? And it's a cost, right? They're paying something per month. They don't realize there's a true asset value behind that policy in today's terms.
Amazing. So you're able to make sure that they're getting their money's worth out of their insurance
That's
policies.
right. And the first thing we do is that we go and we re-underwrite them. We get updated medical data and information because there's a financial incentive for them to provide that, right? And now what we can do is say, okay, based upon your current lifespan, this is how long you might expect this contract to be in force and what your future costs may be. That means that your contract, you have $1 million life insurance policy, it's not worth $0. You shouldn't just stop paying on it.
Yeah.
It might be worth $250,000. It might be worth $300,000.
Right.
This could be a 7-year contract, a 10-year contract.
Right. Do some people not pay just because they don't have the money to keep paying the premiums?
It's
they
interesting.
Don't feel like they need it.
It's really the latter.
Yeah.
It's not that they can't afford it. That sometimes happens.
Right.
The average size policy we acquire is $2 million. Like, this isn't somebody who's struggling to make their next medical payment. It's instead someone who doesn't appreciate or even understand that this is an actual asset that has a real value.
So with your clients, you're basically showing them how they can basically cash in on their insurance. What else? What other kind of services do you guys provide?
One of the things that we have found interesting as we're capturing the life cycle of our clients is that we're providing them very valuable data related to their lifespan.
Because, by the way, most of our listeners, because I know this because we take a lot of callers, most of them are, I would say the average age range is between 45 and 75 years old. So there are people who are later stage in their life. We have some young people who listen, but so this is particularly pertinent to somebody in their 50s, 60s, 70s.
That's right. And understanding not just the financial products that they're investing in, more importantly, the value of what that life insurance might be and how they can apply it to different areas. But beyond that, think about what we do, right? We get updated medical files and we establish an updated lifespan. We re-underwrite them. As an individual, we get family history, all of this medical data, and that data is really valuable for them because now if your number one
you mean
fear,
if they're healthy?
Even if they're not healthy. It's really important to understand that because everyone shouldn't be treated the same. And what I mean by that, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Right? If you're 70 years old and you have a family history of cardiovascular disease, liver disease, diabetes, all of these things, you should have a better understanding that says, hey, maybe my lifespan is, not maybe, it for sure is shorter than your neighbor who doesn't have any of those, right? And therefore, you should treat your financial planning much different because of that, right? You shouldn't be putting money into the same annuity that a healthy person is, right? You should be thinking about how you manage your withdrawals much differently. Number one fear in retirement is what? Running out of money. How on earth do we not take a moment and better understand how long we're going to be in retirement?
Yeah.
And that's the data we provide. Certainly we work in the life insurance space and show people how their life insurance policy has value in today's valuation, not once they've passed.
Now the show, as you know, is called More Money. How do you make more money? So with somebody, let's say in their 70s, let's say, and they have had a life insurance policy, maybe they have 2 or 3 kids, so when they die, if they keep up they would be able to, in some cases, have $1 million, $2 million.
That's right.
That's a huge amount.
That is a huge amount, and I wish that happened more often.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. 90%
So they can
of
pass
the
that on to
time.
their kids or a charity or whatever they want to do.
So what
or
they
their
can do
spouse.
is, if it's, let's assume that it's $2 million when they pass away, and let's assume that's 10 years away. That contract might be worth $400,000 today. And then it's just a simple math equation, right? If you're going to earn 10% a year on that $400,000, that exceeds the $2 million.
Right.
right? And
now,
you're not paying out premiums.
can you get it cash out before you die?
Sure. And it depends on how much cash they've built. It could be there's things like accelerated death benefits. If they have contracted a terminal illness, they might be able to pull money out of that policy. We educate everybody around it. What we see happening, though, in a much larger scale in this business is that people are now starting to apply the underlying data, the lifespan data that we use to underwrite them into their own financial planning. And that's super important because financial planning was built on this 4% systematic withdrawal to ensure you don't run out of money in retirement. Right. And I can tell you that doesn't make sense if you have a lifespan of 7 years. Yeah. You should be pulling 8 to 10%.
Yes.
Right? And still have
so you're essentially annuitizing your
you're annuitizing your own retirement by utilizing your personal data.
Right.
And that's where this is going. That's where financial planning has to go.
So that's the specialty of Abacus, is being able to provide the strike zone for people about when do you cash out, how do you get the money that you're owed from these firms. So do you recommend to for our younger listeners, do you recommend for them to have insurance, life insurance?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that they should have an understanding of what the life insurance policy is that they're buying, right? So if you're 45 years old and you want to do protection for your family, if you want to maximize your protection at the lowest amount of cost, you would do a term policy, and assuming you're healthy. Right. As you get into ages 55 and 65, you're going to start looking at different types of life insurance, maybe insurance that'll carry you to age 100, 110, maybe even beyond, so that you have permanent coverage, because once you get to age 75, you can't get term insurance anymore because the cost doesn't make sense, right? The insurance, you have a much higher probability of passing away shortly thereafter within a decade or so. So term isn't going to work because it's going to be very expensive, and you're going to want to have that permanent coverage. And there's a lot of really unique and interesting things. Just back to the insurance industry in general, I think one of the things, if you look at now the estate tax under the current administration, and one of the big benefits to life insurance over the years has been the fact that it flows through estate tax free.
Yes.
But with this now, double exemption, right, at a much higher level, I think we're pushing $20 million. Yes. People are looking at their life insurance policy a little bit differently. And they're saying, okay, well, what is today's value? Because if I can capitalize on today's value of that policy and contract and apply those resources, this show's about more money, taking that money during times of volatility that we've seen in the market this year and applying it to investments maybe might be a better suitable thing, or applying it to your own care, right? And this many times is kind of a found asset for people.
So you're in Orlando. We have listeners around the country. Yeah. How do they interface? I mean, they want to meet with an individual person, you or others, who can give them advice. They don't just want to go to the internet. So how to? In other words, you're national.
We are national. And they can sit down with their local insurance agent, their financial advisors. They're very well aware of us. We run national television campaigns. We receive about 10 to 12,000 inquiries per month.
I've seen your campaigns.
We produced a simple to use calculator for folks so that they could go on and just put in their age, policy size, policy type, and it'll instantly tell them what that policy valuation could be. So at least they can start to assess what that looks like.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks. Smooth, bright, deliciously crafted. Introducing Starbucks Sansera Blend, their smoothest, brightest coffee yet. It's a new kind of light roast, one that's packed with so much flavor, it shines no matter how you brew it. So go ahead and try it hot, iced, black, or with a splash of creamer. Visit athome.starbucks.com/Sansera-blend-coffee to bring Starbucks Sansera Blend home.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Not all meals are created equal. For instance, breakfast has the spicy egg McMuffin for a limited time, and lunch doesn't. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Spotify. That's greenlight.com/Spotify.
I'm talking to Jay Jackson. He's the chairman and CEO of Abacus Global Management. They've been a great sponsor of our show. So it sounds like this is just a logical thing for people to do because you're going to, there's really no downside to this. You may have money you're leaving aside and not tapping into that. And then you die, and you're not going to have. Nobody's going to get it. The insurance company's going to have a big windfall. So and I think most people don't really understand how their life insurance policy works, and that's I think why they might want to turn to you.
Yeah, I think so, and we're seeing that increase every single day.
And what was the number again? How many trillions are in this?
14 trillion,
14 trillion
of life insurance in force, and so there's a massive market. We have the type of what they would call TAM, or total addressable market, that Google would be jealous of, right? And awesome. as a public company, we can provide these services, and there's a lot of people who look at both the stock and of course our business.
Well, folks, that's Jay Jackson. He is the chairman and CEO of Abacus Global Management. By the way, I just want to mention this one more time. If you want to get in touch with them, a good way to do it is just go to abacusgm.com. That's ABACUSGM.com. Jay, will you come back?
I would love to come back. There's so much to cover here.
Yeah, we only skimmed the cream. Okay, folks, this is the More Money Show. We will be right back. Excellent. So now in this next segment, I want to ask you about Medicare, Social Security,
Sure.
Of
course.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
From emails to reports and project proposals, it's hard to meet the demands of today's competing priorities without some help. Grammarly is the essential AI communication assistant that boosts your productivity at work so you can get more of what you need done faster. Just a few clicks can tailor your tone and writing so you come across exactly as you intend. Get time back to focus on your high-impact work. Download Grammarly for free at grammarly.com/podcast. That's grammarly.com/podcast.